Hello, y'all. It's your girl, Sean LeRae, and we are here live at the California Yacht Club for a Juneteenth event that is honoring amazing sailor Marie Rogers. And Marie is one of the first Black woman to receive the award for the Boat USA Leadership in Sailing Award. We're going to have a good time down here. We've got some good food down here. We're going to talk about a film that was written and being produced by Ocean and Roads Film Company, and that is Miss Inga Grimmett. And Inga is going to be chatting with us too today, but we're going to have some fun down here live today. So y'all know what time it is, though. It is 6 o'clock on a Wednesday, and that's Boss Talk. That's bold, one of a kind, sensational superstars, and that's each and every one of you. So this is Inga Grimmett. Inga is the writer and the producer of the film.
And this fundraiser will go to continue producing and shooting. I have an interview scheduled for 2 weeks, so I'm very excited about that. But we really wanted to create an opportunity for everyone to give and support. But I really wanted just to let everyone know the reason why I'm doing this short film. So just really quickly, I met Marie probably a little bit over a year ago, and she is a really amazing woman, by the way. Amazing sailor, advocate for diversity and inclusion in the sport of sailing, as well as water safety and aquatic sports. And so what I wanted to do was create an opportunity to get people to see why it's important for people that look like me and some of you and all of us, really, an opportunity to be able to sail and to include ourselves into water sports and water safety, things like that. So this particular trailer that you'll see is just a real brief snippet of what I'm working on, and we'll have Marie talk a little bit about her about Sail RO, which is the foundation that we're also raising money for after the screen. Thank you.
So, hello, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Gwendolyn. Says, I'm going to turn the camera so you all can see the film. See it? It's not showing. It's not showing. I still see you. What do you see? What do you see? Yeah, just me.
Feel free to come close, you guys.
Sailing is a wonderful sport. It's transformative, fun, you have a team, you get to belong, you help the
sunshine, everything goes great. Unfortunately, it is dominated by white males. White males have like all the toys, they have all, have access to like all the cool stuff. And when I bring my friends who are not white onto a boat or to a yacht club or into the sailing scene, this first thing I hear, oh my gosh, white. Hawaiian, you name it, have been very, very active and very contributive to the whole maritime industry. We know our country was built on the backs of people of color, and that whether they were enslaved or not, our country is built on it, and that goes for all of our industries. I mean, modern day Egypt. I mean, there's like so much that is happening, on the water. I mean, we built boats, we had commerce, they said the only way you could get goods from one city to another, if it wasn't over land, it had to be on the ocean. And all the relationship that we had with the other countries and the silk trade and the spice trade and all that, a great amount of that was done by people of color on boats. Unfortunately, during the Jim Crow times, people that previously worked on boats, whether they were like in the Chesapeake area and they were crabbers or fishermen or whalers, whatever, those jobs were all reserved for white people. Black people can no longer do it.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep it straight.
In the 21st century, like most people, including people of color, think that we have no connections to the ocean or to the maritime industry or even to leisure activities on a boat. Water for us, the last couple hundred years was a form of torture for people of color. It was a way to intimidate people, poses along with dogs. It was a way to murder people. If it wasn't enough to chase them around, with guns and dogs, and then you drown people. And then, and I really believe that we have in our DNA some ancestral trauma of coming over on ships and knowing that, you most likely will not make it. And all the deaths that occurred between Africa and the shores of North America ingrained in us, even if we didn't, we didn't have anybody sitting us down and talking about it. As people of color, we have kind of an aversion to water, which makes it hard, for me to introduce some of my friends into the sport. It would be wonderful if yacht clubs, sailing schools, sailing organizations got together with their leadership and brought in individual stakeholders from minority communities and actually talked about what it would take to hold events. The other thing that's really going to change is if we had more sailing instructors that look like the people we're trying to attract in. Because people will sail with me, it'll take a sailing lesson when they haven't with anybody else because they feel it's another person of color that I can trust. This is huge. So if we can get more young people into high school sailing and college sailing from HBCUs or people of color becoming sailors, even on a basic level, and in helping to attract people on it would be a huge way to change things around. I'd like to find a way to reconnect people of color back to boats through history. I do talk about it when people have an aversion to boating. I'd like to find a way to help people remember, on a deep level, our connectedness to boats in the maritime industry.
Thank you. Okay, so can I have Marie Rogers come?
They'll show it again.
So Marie is spearheading a wonderful organization called Sail Our Road, which really focuses on creating diversity in sport and offshore safety.
Thank you, everybody who made the trek here in the middle of the week and in the evening. I know the traffic is horrible, so thank you for making it. We really appreciate the support, and thank you, Inga, for putting this all together. I really want to sport with more and more people. My very first time on a sailboat was here in Marina del Rey when I was 28 years old, and I'm 68 years old now. I fell in love with it, but it was so hard to get on a boat. I was a guest to sort of like a kind of a dating kind of situation. I fell in love with the sport, but not with the person who, you know what I spent a lot of years trying to get back on boats again. And then years later, I found my wonderful husband, Bill Rogers. He's there. He's very shy. This man's been sailing since he was quite young. But I arrived in this world, right? This yacht club world, and as I looked around, this is back in the day, I was the only person that looked a little different for everybody else, a lot different. But my passion was always being, especially a woman, to not be just like a decoration on a boat. And my thing is, since I grew up in the inner city and I'm like kind of street smart, I wanted to be able to get the boat back should something happen to the person who was in control of the boat, right? And my dear husband at the time was not really used to that kind of woman being on the boat. He really wanted to take over, and for safety reasons. But in time, I was able to gain the experience necessary to do that. Fast forwarded, I ended up with my own boat, separate from ours. Small boat, which I trained women on. I started a sailing school, on, and I started a community sailing program in a different yacht club, even though we were members here. And the beauty was, all sorts of really interesting people started coming, right? They didn't look like traditional sailors. And we started getting, my friends and I, and some of the daughters and relatives of those people were here, like Milan Murray, Milan Foston, where are you hiding? I got Milan's mom on the boat, different people. So you'd see this boat like sailing upwind like crazy with the legs over the rail and having a great time. And people had never seen like a whole boat full of black ladies like actually sailing a boat. And we started ending up in newspapers, and I got an interview by CBS, and it's just so weird. But in time, there was like all this interest in getting minorities on boat. Here's Joanne. She's another one who's like part of that whole crew, right? Got lots of pictures and videos of us on boats. And what was happening was like the yachting community was like, oh my God, this is so cool. But no one was really doing anybody to invite anybody in, except for like me and maybe a few other people around the country. So I started working nationally with different yacht clubs and sailing organizations, and like I'm on the board of directors for U.S. Sailing, which is the national governing body for the sport. I got really involved. I'm on the board of Southern California Yachting Association. So like from a high position, being able to help yacht club sailing programs actually do outreach into the community. And for whatever reason, you use your imagination, people were afraid of actually approach like a black sorority or a fraternity or a professional group. I was bringing in like black lawyers from female attorneys from Pasadena and the Deltas and different people who were coming out on the boats and having a really good time. But it's really hard to make that happen. So I really urge all of you that are here today to reach out to us. And Inga is the your Eventbrite connection. I can find a way for everybody to get on a boat. Or at least try it out one time. And if you find out you're too busy because you have children or you have grandchildren, there's really no excuse, right? You can get on one time and you won't be glammy, you will actually be working on a boat, but it's fun. It's like doing yoga or Pilates or anything else, you're just doing it on the water. Yeah. Right? I'm 68 years old, I can still do this. Feels a little bit older than I am, but it's a really good way to stay physical, to stay connected. And my biggest message is for us to get back to where we were before everything had to change. Like before this Aurora, this is our inheritance. This is our birthright.
Yes.
To be able to swim, to feel comfortable on the water. And if you don't want to do it yourself, fine, but you should be able to all have access and feel completely comfortable. When you come in here and ask to be a member, what is membership prices? Like how do I get a scholarship for my kid? Whatever the situation is. Because I know Marie, I know Inga, so I want to try this. So thank you for coming, and I hope you continue to have some wine tasting, listening to music. We'll be around. We're going to have another screening, I think, right away for the people who are out watching listening to the music. And thank you again for coming.
There will be a second viewing at 8 p.m., but I just wanted to give a couple of thank yous really quick. I wanted to thank the California Yacht Club for hosting us today.
Say hi, Nene.
I wanted to thank Dahlia and John and Scott. And also, I wanted to thank Lonnie Ford for helping me produce the event and coming on board. She's amazing.
Thank you guys for coming out. Welcome to the Yacht Club. Can we play it one more time for the folks that were outside? For those that don't mind seeing it again, I know a lot of us were outside. We want to make sure everyone gets to see it. And I hope you guys are enjoying the band and everything. Thank you, Inga. Thank you, Marie, and everyone else that came out.
So, y'all, there you have it. That's the story about Ms. Marie Rogers and Miss Inga, who are doing the thing, and we'll get a chance to talk to them directly a little bit. They're going to show the film again, and I know that the sign wasn't great on the film, so over here is the link to the film, so you can go ahead and get that up and running so that you can see it yourself. It is called, I love the title, it's called Against the Current, Searching for Good Trouble. And volume 1, Marie Rogers. And so please go ahead and tune in and click on that link and get a chance to really get a good listen to the short film. And this fundraiser is to help bring about more funding to continue to finish that film and get it out there. I think the more that we can get people to even know that this is a thing, because how many of you out there really have never really sailed or considered sailing, or not just getting on somebody's yacht and taking a little spin around the ocean or the sea or the river or whatever, but actually being a boat owner or being a member of a yacht club? One of the things that I've learned since I've been communicating with these ladies is that you do not have to own a boat to actually be a member of a yacht club. So it's an opportunity to join the yacht club and be around people who are sailors and who are out doing the thing, and find out if it's something that actually is interesting to you and something that you think might be something that you want to add to your legacy. So let's see, what are y'all saying out there? Ellen says you need to set up a meeting with her. You think I ain't? I already chatted with her. You know me. You know me. Let's see what else y'all saying out here. Looking fabulous. So why, thank you, darling. You're partial, but thank you just the same. And Billy, that was Mauricio calling me in the middle of my show. All right. Gwen says, great, want to see the film. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. This would be a good time for a box of Cracker Jacks. Indeed, indeed, darling. But instead, I have some salad over here. Important thing right now is the sound. Try to get the sound a little better. Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get the sound any better. We were working with what we had, but I did put the link in there, and so you guys can check out that same trailer that you just saw. And I would like to learn a little bit more about this yacht club and possibly become an active member. Absolutely, babe. I think that would be really great. I love the water, and I am a child who was thrown in the water as a kid. Both of my parents swam, and my mom and dad threw me in the pool. And I learned how to swim at about 4 or 5 years old, and have loved it ever since. And swam on the swim team and all those kinds of things. So I love water. I love getting on a boat and sailing. In fact, we're trying to work out that for our wedding weekend is to have a boat ride, a nice little trip around the ocean out there in Oxnard. So definitely it was timely to be able to come here today and meet Inga and meet Marie and learn more about this. Who knew? And what a lovely way to spend Juneteenth, an opportunity to learn even more about our history when it comes to sailing and Black folks on the water. And so this was so timely. So let's have a little interaction here. So I wonder, while we're waiting for our interviews with Marie and Inga, how many of you have a water memory? Some memory that you have around water that you can share. Like for me, it was the number one thing was first time being thrown in the water as a kid, but also at 12 years old, being at the Martin Luther King pool in Toledo, Ohio, and having an asthma attack. But my mom thinking that I was playing because I was throwing my hands up, and the lifeguard seeing me and jumping into the water past my mom, rescuing me and taking me over to the side and making sure I was okay. And then I remember him and my mom going off to the side to have a chat because I wanted to get back in the water. And my mom was like, no. And I later learned that he actually told my mother that she needed to let me get back in the water because if she didn't, I would forever have a fear of the water. And so against what she felt in her heart as my mama, she let me get back in that water, and I've been in the water ever since. And so that is one of the stories that I have around water and all of that. And what I later realized is that my mother never got back in the pool to swim again, and she taught me, but she was always on the sidelines watching me like a hawk all the way up until my 30s when we had a pool party here in California, and she put her feet in, but her eyes were glued to me. So that's my story. What's that? What are you saying here? Candy. Hey, Candy. What's up, sister? She says, I love yachting. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Candy, did you know this story of Marie Rogers? Have you ever heard of her? Or did you know about blacks in sailing and that kind of thing? She says, every summer, walking to Sportsman's Park to take the swim lessons and swim. Ah, okay. Now, was that here in California? Because I believe you're a native Cali girl, right? I think so. I think so. Yes. Anybody else? Who else out there has a memory around water and that you can share with us tonight? I want to hear from you. And thank you all for tuning in. I'm so excited as this is our first live Boss Talk. And It's really nice to have to be out and about. You know, I love me some summertime and being out and about. So it's really exciting to be out here down in the marina. It is absolutely beautiful. And once we do the interview, I'm going to take you guys down closer to where the boats are and let you hear a little bit from the band. There's a little jazz trio going on down there that are pretty good. I think I saw them a few minutes ago grabbing something to eat. So they might be done eating in a moment. So we're gonna get Maria and those guys in a second. Alan, brother Alan? Hey, he says I grew up with a pool in our second home because our first home we could only swim on certain days. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Gigi, hey sister girl. Gigi says our neighborhood buddies were the original Little Rascals. We would go swimming every day during the summer. Yeah, we had a crew like that too, actually. Up in Oakland, right? Gigi was born and raised in Oakland. Candy says, yes, from LA, born and raised. All right, LA girl, Cali girl in the house. I love it. So, Marie should be over in just a moment because she knows that she said she was going to set her timer to get over here by 6:30. So my Uncle Cecil took me on his back way out in the middle of Hanson Dam as a young boy. He dropped me off his back and made me swim back. I panicked because I thought a monster would get me. I know that. I know those feelings. Yes. Gigi says, yes, Oakland in the house. Built a pool. Candy built a pool 30 years ago for my kids. Oh, yeah, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. So you got water babies. I love it. So we're going to see if we can get Marie and Inga over here and have a little chat with them and find out more about the film and about how you all can support this, because I think it's important that we support our own. And Inga is a bright young woman who is doing great things, and we have to be supportive of that. And my favorite memory of water is, let's see. You can come.
We need to get food too.
We won't take it anymore. Okay. So we're going to interview Miss Inga. There she is. Hello, Miss Inga.
Hello.
Hey, take a moment and catch your breath. I know you've been doing a lot. Hello. So Inga, I'm so excited. Thank you for telling us about this. It's so nice to be here, and it's a lovely turnout. And so tell us about what sparked the interest that you had in doing the film.
Well, I was interested when I first met Marie, probably a little bit over a year ago. The interest actually only started up as an article from my blog that I have.
Okay, tell us about that.
So when I met with her, we ended up speaking for about 3 hours.
Okay.
And I was intrigued as far as how she got into sailing, what she wanted to create from it with all of the different things that she was up to, like being a U.S. board member a VP and board member for U.S. Sailing. She was a strong advocate for diversity in sailing, in offshore sailing, especially for Black women.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me about the different groups that she had started, and it was just phenomenal. And myself, I had never really thought I could even be a part of the sailing world because I thought you had to own a boat.
Uh-huh.
But once she introduced me to the sailing world, I fell in love with it. And then I fell in love really about learning the historical aspects of our relationship to water.
Yes.
And as far as even from our ancestors, we had communities on water. We had markets and all of these wonderful things and aspects of it. So I've been researching that and reading books about it. And so I knew that I wanted to bring it into a documentary format.
I love that. I love that you did your own research.
Yes.
And, I love it. Like, listen, y'all, when you have some curiosity around something, don't wait for somebody else to tell you. Go start doing your own research so that you know even the right questions to ask, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So she found you on the blog, or is that what happened?
No. So an old friend of mine, I found out that she was a sailor. And so I said, oh my God, I would love to interview you for my blog. I think it'd be really cool. And so then I hadn't talked to her for like over a year. And then she called me randomly and said, Inga, I want to introduce you to someone named Marie Rogers. I think she'd be a great person to interview. And she's a captain, and we're going to be sailing in Transpac, which is a Transpac or Trans-Pacific Yacht Races, a really famous race that occurs from San Pedro to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And so she was prepping to assist Marie on that. And so that's how the journey began.
I love it. So I did a little research, and I researched about that race, and I was like, "Ooh, that's exciting! Like it would be fun." So now, what kind of boats are they racing?
Well, there's different types of boats. You have different classifications. You have your large, and I'm going to say yachts and larger yachts, smaller yachts, but it really depends on the size. So certain classifications start on certain days. Now, Marie's boat, for example, their classification, it took them about 9 to 10 days. Some yachts, depending on their engine or their motor, may only take them 4 to 5 days. So this really depends on what you're sailing. And Marie can get more into detail about
And
that.
I'm sure, right? I'm right. And so are you taking her class? Say hi.
Yes, Marie will be actually teaching me how to sail towards the end of the summer, which I'm really excited
Oh
about.
my goodness,
Yeah.
that is exciting.
Yeah.
That is so exciting. So, hey, there she is. Marie, would you go over there? She's going to be on the phone. Yeah, thank you. So we have Miss Marie, as you all saw her when she was speaking out there, Marie Rogers. So
I love technology.
I know, isn't it great? So Boss Talkers, say hey to Marie Rogers. Let's see who's out there. We have we were getting some of the Boss Talkers. My show is called Boss Talk LA, so welcome to Boss Talk LA, ladies. And we were asking them what some of their favorite memories around water was. So Candy said, my favorite water memory of water is catamaraning around the Virgin Islands. Ooh, I love that. And she also built a pool for her children over 30 years ago. My fiance, his favorite memory is his Uncle Cecil took me on his back way out in the middle of Hanson Dam as a young boy. He dropped me off his back and made me swim back. And I panicked because I thought a monster would get me. And my memory, I have two. One is when I was a baby, they just threw me in the water. And so I kind of had to learn how to tread water at least. And then I almost drowned when I was 12. But I jumped to the pool and then I had an asthma attack. And my mother thought I was playing because I was doing like this. But the lifeguard jumped in the water, saved me, and took me out. And then my mother was like, no, you cannot go back in. And then I saw them having a conversation. Later, I learned that he told my mother to let me get back in the water or I would be afraid of water and would never get back in. And so that helped me a lot. But then I later realized my mother never swam again. She always watched me, but never actually swam again. But I'm still a water baby. All summer, last summer, we swam almost every day. And now it's warm enough that I'm ready to go. So Marie, tell me what started your fascination or love of water, period?
It's funny that you should say that. Talk about swimming. My dad was a lifeguard. So even though my mom never swam. Okay, my mom was born in 1920. She never swam. She never learned to ride a bike. She never learned to do. She didn't learn to drive because she's in her 40s in Los Angeles. I don't know how that's possible. But I always wanted to be like my dad. Like I wanted to have that skill. And I always just love the water. I love taking baths. I love drinking water.
Yes.
I loved the beach. I had like no fear. I was the kid that got tumbled in the rain. Whatever.
I love it. Now I'm a bubble bath girl. Everyone knows, all the Boss Talkers know that I am famous for my bubble baths every single day. That's how I start my morning. And so I love just the feel of it. I love the sound of the water and all of that. So this is great. So when did you start sailing?
Okay.
Or tell us the on the way up to that.
Okay. It's kind of messy.
We love messy.
I had just filed my husband for divorce, and he and I did a lot of sports together. Like we we skied, we downhill skied, backpack, cross country, and you knew I always wanted to sail. And so I filed papers, I moved out, and like 2 weeks after I moved out, he bought a sailboat, thinking that he was gonna wear me back into the thing again. I'm like, no. But we had a child, we had a small child together. And so that was the way to spend more time with my son, is to hang out with my yucky ex on a sailboat. But it was great fun, and I wanted access to the boat, but I didn't want to have to do it that way. So eventually, I went off on my own and started sailing. But
Can you speak a little bit louder? I think because we're having.
I instantly fell in love with sailing the very first time. It was the sense of freedom and the fact that I'm a woman and I get to be kind of like in charge.
Yeah.
and I'm not depending on a man or anybody, that. Because in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, what if something should happen to this person that can control the boat? Like, I don't know what's going on. So I had to learn how to do it.
I love that. And then the love just took you to the next level. So I know that you won a leadership award, and I think earlier I said you were the first. Were you the first woman or the second woman? Or tell us that
one. So in 2020, during the pandemic, I was the very first non-white woman to win the Peggy Slater award. And you're awarded this thing either on a personal achievement, like you're in the Olympics or something, some crazy, wonderful thing you did, or you're the person that demonstrated the best, giving back more to women in sport sailing. And I started a bunch of programs. I got a lot of people on the boat, and people started recognizing that. And then that same year, I got the Boat US National Women's Sailing Association Leadership in Women's Sailing Award, and that's a national award.
Wow.
And now I was also the first Black lady. So I got the regional one in Southern California, and I got the national one in 2020.
You better go, girl. I love it. I love it. That is amazing. So I know that your goal is to spread the word kind of about this, but tell us about some of the programs that you're doing that are bringing the interest and bringing people, particularly Black women, into this field.
Well, since I've been boots on the ground for the last 20 years, being a sailing coach, a sailing instructor myself, and becoming a licensed captain, taking women to Catalina with like no guys on the boat, just so the women know how to do this, on a sailboat, going through all the systems on the boat, knowing in a disaster or impending disaster what you would do. And anyway, gone through all that. And then I've been recruited into some incredible boards. So I'm on the board of directors of Southern California Yachting. And that's from like Morro Bay, California, all the way into Mexico, south, and then east into Arizona and Nevada for the reservoir, like lake sailing. I have been recruited into U.S. Sailing to be on their board of directors. I'm the very first non-white person on that board.
That's all right. Come on.
As well, I think we're all the same. And so that's why I'm always trying to get people to come out and like, it's like open there. Like, this really should not be the Marie Rogers story. It should be like our story.
I love it.
And I'm just trying to reach out to everybody to like, I can get you connected. I can get the skills. Come into these spaces that are much more open to having us here. It's a little different. I mean, but there's strength in numbers.
I love that. Yes,
like
indeed.
2 or 3 of us, it's like really hard. But when there's like a critical event, watch out.
Come on, watch out. I love it. So you know what I'm thinking, and I know Gwendolyn, you're out there. So I am the president of an organization called the Black Women's Network. So we have to get you over in front of all of these women this summer, or maybe even at our bigger conference in October, because a lot of the women have the means to do these kinds of things, but just don't know that these things exist. We have women from, like, we have every generation in this organization. We turned 45 in March, the organization, and our organizing founder has gone on to glory, but we want to keep her legacy on open of just bringing new experiences to Black and professional women in business and life. So one of the things that my Black Women's Network mentor, Gwendolyn Gigi Goodman, says all the time is we are for women who are professional women, women in business, and women who are about the business of living their best lives. And it sounds like sailing is a way to manifest that. And being able to just kind of be open, be free. And I really love that. I love that so much. So now I know that you met Inga through the blogging circuit, kind of. And so, Inga, what made you want to do the film?
Well, when the first 3 hours that we met, we spoke, I immediately told Marie, I was like, I don't want to do an article. I want to do a documentary.
Oh my goodness, right
it
then.
was so much and so impactful. It was incredible. And so the more we spoke, the more, ideas start flourishing. I just knew how to do it.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. And I love that you got the download, right? And you acted on it.
Yes.
And that for boss talkers out there, when you have an idea in your head, I don't care how crazy it sounds, I don't care how many people go, what? Do it. Yes. You got to do it, because only you know. And, my fiance has said this many times, only he knows what his dream is. So he has to be the one to go out there and get it. And that applies to all of us women. You don't have to wait until the kids are grown, until the this, until the that. Do it now. Live life now on purpose and out loud.
Yes.
Ladies, you agree?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's next? I mean, tell us where, we're raising money for the film.
Right.
So where are we in that process?
Right. We're currently in production right now. We're raising funds. This is phase 2. I'm still interviewing, and also raising money for post-production. So I just launched the GoFundMe today as well.
All right.
So I'll give that information to you.
Yes, please.
And then from there, the intention is to create this into a docuseries.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Yes.
So that's why this is your volume 1. Yes. I get it. All right. Yes. That's right. Yes. I love this so much. I'm so excited to be down here. I'm an outdoor girl. I love being out in the sun. People are like, oh, it's so hot. I'm like, no, it's beautiful. It's not enough. And down here, it's so much nicer and cooler, too.
She's a therapist. So before we wrap, I would like to know both of your perspectives on getting people of color in the water and how that affects mental health.
Wow.
I wish I'd have thought of that. That was good.
We talk about
that's why she's on my team.
Right. Wow.
Oh, do share. Yes.
Wow. Well, for me, I love being around water because it is a soothing thing for me. It's a place where I go to think, to release, to decompress, to pray, to expand on my ideas. And as far as mental health, I think it's an absolute thing. I think especially swimming, it's not only a sport and athletic, but it can also help with your mind and put yourself at ease.
Yes. Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Marie.
I agree. I've had lots of opportunities experiences where I love getting brand new people on the boat because they have a lot of apprehension. I'm not a good swimmer and I'm afraid of water. I can't see through it. Oh my God, this is scary. My husband told me not to do this. And my boyfriend said,
and here I am anyway.
Yeah, right. I'm going to do it anyway. Because I heard that you would not make me feel afraid. And I talk about all the fundamentals of the boat, how we're not going to get wet, we're not going to be upside down in the water, we're not you're going to be very light, and how the boat works, all the physics, but in a simple way. And I always take people out in the morning when there's not a lot of wind, and they just slowly, and then I'm like a weather nerd, so I know when it's time to get off the water. I'm like, oh, it's time for us to turn back. And they're like, oh, but we're having so much fun. I'm like, I know. But we're going to say that for
Trust
another
me.
day. Right. But what I find is that people, especially women, men as well, people just open up. And they're like, I've had people tell me stories of like childhood stuff that they haven't revealed to anybody in years. And I think, I don't know if it's the negative ions or it's just like having the engines off, we're just sailing with the sail power. They're seeing the dolphins, and all of a sudden it's like this connection back with nature. That I find that my mother did not want to have. She wanted to be in a hotel when we traveled. She would camp. She didn't want anything to do with nature, right? Other than having her little rose garden. And I find it really opens people up. And for women specifically, the fact that there's no man on the boat typically. When we're doing this, and we're fine. We're not asking permission. We're in control of this. And if anything should get a little wonky, then I would just fix it. Like, we're good. Don't worry about it. And it's that feeling of accomplishment.
Yes, it's confidence builder. Yes, and that's always a good mental health booster. Helps to increase self-esteem because you feel like you're capable. You can control something. You can take care of yourself and all of those things. And not saying we don't need our men, and we do. But we need spaces where we can just be free to be. And not have to worry about all the other things that come when we're in mixed company. So I appreciate the sharing of that. Absolutely.
See, like 20 minutes in, all the armor's off. It's just people just start melting. I'm like, this is amazing. I know.
I love it. Crystal, I'm envisioning a retreat on a boat, girl. I feel it. I feel it coming. I'm feeling.
That I've done on boats, and I want my wedding to be on a boat. And I have a traumatic story. My nephew died in the creek because he didn't know how to swim. And so I've been working on the swim camp because there's so many, especially people of color, kids of color that lose their lives because they don't know how. And so retreat camps.
All of it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And there are scientific studies that talk about the healing powers of waters, even the sound of water. In my office, we turn on the water the first thing in the morning and let the little sound machine and just let it run throughout the day. And people walk in and it's very soothing. It's very healing. Yes, absolutely. The rain, even the sound of a dripping faucet. There are studies that say that it's less annoying than people tend to think, and that sometimes people need it to even go to sleep because it relaxes the body and the mind and the spirit. So I am so thrilled to have made this connection, to meet you ladies, and we're going to put the word out on your fundraising, darling, and definitely want to have you both out to talk to some other women's groups that we're part of.
And that would be amazing.
Yes. So let's see what the boss talkers are saying out here. Hey sis, I'm here watching, cooking. My hands are full, but I'm listening in. Hey, Reverend WKS, that's my fiance, aka Minister Bill. That's my future sister-in-law. and they're funny, these two. He says, hello, what's up, Dr. Juanita? Glad you can make it. Well, Gigi says, hi, ladies, welcome. Risa. Hey, Risa from South Carolina. South Carolina. She says, hello, ladies.
I just came from New Orleans. I could get people connected down there.
Oh, yeah.
I have a wonderful program down there.
Oh, I bet.
Not mine, but they're my friends.
Oh, I love it. And Charlotte Nelson says, hi, I'm Char. I learned how to swim as a little girl. Love the water. I went to Florida Beach and had the best time ever. Thank you for tuning in, Charlotte. Are you your first time Boss Talker? Welcome and thank you. We're here every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. So come on back. William says, yacht racing is like chess on steroids. You're using the elements, C and intuition. I love that. And Candy, Sister Candy says, I'm definitely interested in learning more about their program. Absolutely. And Candy is actually the CEO of an organization called the Positive Results Center. And they work with young people, with youth, teaching them about safe dating and teen violence and those kinds of things. I think this would be a great thing for your program. And then I actually forgot, I have a nonprofit too, don't I? The William Joseph Brinkley Center for Cultural Affirmation. So this could be a very wonderful connection in that way. I love it. I love it. So let's see who else. Gwendolyn, Gigi says, my firstborn's intro to a pool at 2 years at Beverly Woods Swim School, and being so comfortable and relaxed me. Our 3 children learned as babies there. We have a backyard pool that she's trying to get rid of. I ain't having it. And my fear was safety for them. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, sis. Risa says, I love this. Congratulations, ladies, on this phenomenal endeavor. Much love and success to you. My big brother Alan says, hey, ladies, great coverage because my family is from Mississippi. So my mother never learned to swim. So when we moved to California, she was determined that her 12 children would learn to swim. So that's awesome. And I think Alan is the oldest of those 12. And Gwendolyn Goodman says, the sea is my love, yacht life, especially because I'm not a sun lover. I find my shade.
That's very smart. That's very smart.
Always a good hat. That's right. Yes. Okay, Charlotte. Well, thank you, Charlotte. Thank you for being here, and we hope that you will come back again. So, ladies, we have to wrap it up. It's that time, but really so thankful to have been here with you guys tonight, and thank you so much for doing all that you're doing, for getting the word out, and let's get some folks in the water. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank you. We always ask our guests at the end to give us one 15-second nugget that you'd like to leave with the Boss Talkers today.
I would like to say that swimming and water safety and the environment, this is your birthright to be able to navigate safely and confidently in water. It's our birthright. We've been trained and tortured and completely influenced that is not the case, but we can get back to where we feel comfortable and where our ancestors were masters.
Mm-hmm. Amen. All right.
I guess I'll piggyback off that. I would have to say that, like Marie was saying, it's our birthright. Also, do your research. It was so many communities all throughout the coast of Africa and even within the different countries that had huge communities built on water. I mean, from the 1600s, we were living on water. So,
come on over, bro. Yeah, come on, say hi. No, come on over here and say hi. Come on now. Say hi. This is Boss Talk LA.
Boss Talk LA. How y'all doing?
Hey there. What's your name?
My name is DeAndre Landers. Wish y'all could be out here. This incredible event is way overdue, and the word really needs to get out. The diversity in this program really needs to happen. You guys support. Next time we put something together like this, you guys definitely need to come out. In agreement, the producer. You guys need to definitely come out. This is just the first of many. All right? Enjoy. Come see us.
All right. Thank you, brother. You was good at that. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for us to go. We love you. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up off of here. So let's jam out with me to my theme song. Y'all know what to do. Live loved and shalom, y'all. Peace. See you next week. Do you not want me to end it?
Also, I need to say